Hello and welcome to the Kayden Gordon Show, today's best country mix. And joining me right here today is Riki Westmoreland. Wait, Riki, how are you?
I am incredible. How are you?
I am doing awesome. Thanks for taking the time to come on with us today. We appreciate it.
My pleasure. Absolutely, my pleasure.
So, kind of tell us a little bit about yourself to get started.
A little bit about myself. Okay. Well, okay, boys and girls. Um, well, my name is Riki Yvette Westmoreland, and yeah, I use my full name for my
Mhm.
branding and my because I'm in love with my name. I don't know, it's like the coolest name to me, but anyway. But yeah, I'm Riki Yvette Westmoreland. Really quickly, just I'm an actress
Mhm.
first and foremost, and I'm primarily mostly known for my work on the viral inspirational series Man Studios. I've done about 94 or so videos on that platform in the last 4 years, which I've just recently left. So I'm mostly
Mhm.
known for that as far as my acting work goes. But I'm also a survivor of abuse and trauma. And I have a background in transpersonal guidance coaching. And so I've recently just launched and embarked on my own vision called Riki's World
Mhm.
Experiential Entertainment Therapy, which embodies all of that in characters, and that's coming as well. But so I just basically I enjoy using my art for making a difference, for
Mhm.
cultivating growth in the world, and so that's about it. I'm here chilling with Kayden, and we're ready to do this. Let's rock it out.
Awesome. So, kind of take me to the beginning. Like, what kind of got you into acting?
What got me into acting? Okay, well, okay. So this is kind of you guys, well, for those who follow me, they'll see that I actually have the whole story of how Ricky's World was born. It actually
Mhm.
started when I was little. I have I was always considered this creepy little kid. My sister told me like not too long ago. She's like, "You used to creep me out as a little girl." But I but I used to like I used to basically get up and everybody, all the kids doing their own thing, but I was very introverted, very shy, kind of withdrawn. But since I was a toddler, I'd get up in the middle of the night, sit in the dark, and escape off into my imagination, into all these different worlds and realities.
Mhm.
And I would be like, be these characters in my mind. I'd be, sometimes sitting up with a baby doll, or I'm from the Midwest,
Mhm.
Ohio. So there was this late program that when TV used to go off back then.
Mhm.
Um, Gave away my age, but so yeah, back then before TV went off, I used to watch this program called the Night Owl Theater, and so they would show all these cool otherworldly movies with aliens and all kinds of things, and so I'd escape into Night Owl Theater and or sneak and sit in the dark and escape and travel into other worlds and always acting things out. And I was
Mhm.
always growing up acting things out in the mirror in my imagination. I love like cool, trippy, eccentric movies. Kind of got that from my daddy. And so it was always kind of in me to love to be some kind of character. And so then, my first actual acting job came. I was always too shy and didn't have really the confidence to like literally try to pursue anything. And it wasn't really considered a reality, a realistic thing when I was growing up. It's like, even though we're watching it on TV and it's real for people, that's the weirdest thing, right? It's like not a real thing, yet we're watching a
Mhm.
movie where it's a real thing for somebody. So weird. So yeah, I just basically I ended up getting my first gig for someone I had met on Facebook, Daryl McCullough. What's up, Daryl? And and my first film was it's called Holiday Lie. So I did terrible to me. I was my first time ever doing a film, but it was like I actually love this and I can take that little girl and
Mhm.
live out all these things. And so I did another film, and these were in Ohio, indie
Mhm.
films. And then eventually I came to LA about 8 years ago. Finally, just went full on. I came here to start
Mhm.
my own YouTube channel to where I could integrate all these things. Didn't work out. I
Mhm.
ended up with Dar, which is great. And here I am. I've dove in. Now it's like the little girls living all these little dreams and all those things. I'm finally getting to do it. Woohoo!
That's awesome, and the fact that you've been with him for such a long time and, you leaving them, how does that make you feel? Like, are you I'm sure you're sad about it.
Well, yeah, it was hard to I mean, I had several days of
Mhm,
crying. I went through a lot of emotional changes with the that decision, but it was a
mhm,
coming decision. I had actually been sitting with it for a while.
mhm,
And there's so many people that I love. So it was really heartbreaking. But at some level, looking at the whole
mhm,
picture as far as my career, my lifestyle, my well-being, and all these other things, I just really realized I needed to take a different direction,
mhm,
um, to help in my career, expanding it into the direction I wanted to go,
mhm,
and having my own voice,
mhm,
having my own creative control over my work, and writing my own stories in a very different way. Um, Still making an impact and a difference,
mhm,
but then, and as far as, you know, there's this kind of thing that happens, and I'm all about being honest and keeping it classy, baby. but 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 there's this there's this thing that and I'm grateful for
Mhm,
everything. But one of the struggles as an actress that I had run into commonly was the success of the platform tends to people tend to parallel with that with the success of your personal life, the success of your financial status, and
mhm,
just social status or social publicity does not mean the same in in your lifestyle, your livelihood, your pocket. So you have to sometimes when you realize, you got to kind of change things up. You got to make different moves to kind of survive a little bit better, make more money and things like that, because I had constantly found myself in a state of struggle. And so I'm like, I got to change it up and I got to just bring me out. Um, I wasn't, and I like some roles outside of that, I wouldn't get booked for certain things because I'm not really seen outside of a certain particular character or cast, a
mhm,
typecast type. And so I'm like, okay, I got to break free of that. But I was trying to do that under the platform, but
mhm,
it's so massive that it still overshadowed everything. And I'm like, okay, for this aspect, I got to just and I realize some of it is starting from scratch, but you know, we have journeys.
mhm,
You take them, you're grateful for everything that they bring you, and and it's going to make space for other actors that want to enjoy the platform, and
mhm,
um, and I'm doing my thing. So yeah, I won't, there's a lot. I
mhm,
consider it a lot, so many different things, my career,
mhm.
my vision, my well-being, and all these other things, and to really come to that decision. So yeah, um, yeah, it still hurts sometimes. I think
Mhm.
about it, but they everybody know I love them. I love
Yeah,
y'all.
that's mainly the key there, making sure that, that you love them. That's the whole point.
Hmm.
And I
Yeah,
honestly, congratulate you on everything that you're doing as well. It's awesome that you got to be able to make your own platform. You got a little experience from it, and now you're moving on to better and bigger things. That's awesome.
appreciate it. Well, it's not bigger yet.
Well, you
But
know,
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I will say
yeah.
this: Dar is an incredible entrepreneur. How he was able that I've never seen it. That's one thing. It's like I literally was part of the pioneering talent of an empire that in 4 years
Hmm.
it's just like 30 billion views, 30 billion
Yeah.
views, and millions of subscribers to be a part of the pioneering talent. I mean, I was actually the first actress ever hired on the cinematic video, so a lot of people don't know that.
Oh,
But
really? Wow.
yeah, I was the first. Yeah, the original OG. The original, but yeah, but and I say that with the deepest humility and gratitude, because I was in Hollywood, not really anybody. I'm very green, and
Mhm,
Dar, they gave me an opportunity, and they kept calling me back, and so I'm extremely grateful for that. So, and just, but the witnessing and of the unfolding of the journey and how it just kept
mhm,
growing and growing, and then, and I was bringing in my friends before, there's casting and stuff, and it's like,
mhm,
hey, there's this, so literally seeing everybody that's come in, and it's like, if I can watch an empire grow and I'm part of that pioneering talent, well, I can take from, the
mhm.
mentorship of that, and try to see how I can, build into my own empire as well. So yeah.
Totally, and, what was, like, the experience between you and Darman? Like, was there, like, you guys got to talk a lot or not really, or
Okay, so in the beginning, um now in the beginning, it was still getting a lot of views. I mean, in our first year, we were hitting the millions. It was
Mhm,
primarily only on Facebook, though. There were millions and millions of views. So even in the first year, so um, that was incredible to me. But like Dar, they used to shoot the videos. So the studios came like after COVID and all that, but
mhm,
before that, the videos we were shooting them, they were downtown at the Watermark in the Penthouse. He
mhm,
was running Live Glam, a makeup company he owned, so he was pretty successful with Live Glam, that makeup company, which he used to pay for producing these videos, the cinematic videos. He had done
mhm,
some other style videos prior to that, like animation, talking.
mhm,
Didn't really work out, so he decided, I'm going to do cinematic videos and hire actors, and then that's when I first came in, and then they hired someone to play my daughter based on how we looked alike and whatnot.
mhm,
But he used to be more involved, because he was always there working with the company.
mhm,
Plus, that he was also living out of another penthouse there, so he was always on, he was always kind of in and out location. He always
mhm,
stopped by, like, come and greet us in the lobby. It was very family oriented. It felt great. And that was when it was a two-man crew. It was a two-man crew back then. It was a producer and a director. We would
mhm,
do the guerrilla shooting because we would shoot downtown. Um,
mhm,
oh man, the in the middle of the night, sometimes till 4 in the morning, the
mhm.
pissy alleys. Woo!
Mhm.
Sometimes by Skid Row, and it'd be like one, I was like in the scene and I'm crying and I'm like emoting, there's tears pouring, and I'm just like, oh, I'm so deep into it, but I see something in my peripheral, right?
Mhm,
And peripheral, did I say that right? And it's like slowly like nearing me, because we were not too far from Skid Row, and
mhm.
so it's coming, and I just happen to glance over, tears and snot, and it's this massive cockroach. I'm like, what? Because I'm sitting on the ground on top of a cardboard box, and it's
Yeah.
like, man, I freaked out. And then the producer's like trying to get it, pop, 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 it's like in the middle of
Mhm,
the night, probably like 3, 4 in the morning. And it was just like, it was just, it was like very adventurous. There was a one
mhm,
shoot we went around afterwards, the food that we had for the shoot,
mhm,
we were handing it out to the homeless. So it was a
mhm,
very incredible experience, especially in the beginning. And then when we were over at the lobby, like I said, Dar was always in and out. He
mhm,
talked. He would used to invite us to like celebratory dinners, and we'd all shoot the breeze, have restaurant, gather
mhm,
at a restaurant and get together. But now it's so massive. Um, we didn't see him much anymore, but understandably, I mean,
mhm.
that's like, how often did, if like Walt, just in comparison, Walt Disney, for instance, how did he
Yeah,
go to the park regularly? No. I mean, you
yeah.
can only, do so much. So the growth's been crazy. But usually if he did kind of pass by through the set or whatever, he was always pretty friendly. He'd say hello to everybody, you know, um, and stuff like that. Um, so yeah, yeah. I don't know. Did I answer your question? I talk. I mean, rambling. Okay.
No, it's all good. Yeah, you pretty much answered my question there. I think you
Okay.
did really well with it.
Okay.
So if you could act with anyone that you have not acted with before, or if you have acted with them before, again, who would you choose and why?
Oh, let me tell you something. Viola Davis. Number one, Viola Davis. I love me some Viola. I love you. I love Viola Davis because she has, I love feeling. I'm in love with
Mhm,
emotions and feeling. And I like, that's what I used to do when I did my transpersonal guidance coaching with people. I help people through the process, feel through their emotions. In
mhm,
our society, we tend to tell people there's this big thing with encouraging people to suppress their
mhm,
emotions, to suppress their feelings, get over it, or don't get caught up in your feelings. And it's like, no, you need to learn to have a healthy relationship with your feelings, because that is another, we appreciate the five senses, but that's another sense that
mhm,
we don't tend to see as a sense, and that's how I view it in my world perspective. So I believe in having a healthy relationship with your feelings and
mhm,
cultivating that relationship so that you know how to act within them practically. Viola has this incredible way of engaging in these emotions in a very organic and beautiful way, and bringing that out so that you're experiencing it so viscerally and tangibly. And it's just brilliant how she just carries and brings these things into the stage. You can feel it. And I love to feel, and I love to make people feel stuff too. I don't know about curse words, but I like to make people feel Viola,
mhm.
she could really help take me there even further into those depths. So, hands down, Viola, I think she could help me arrive in places as an actor that would take me who knows where, and she's so down to earth and real. I love her story, her struggle story. I can
Mhm.
relate, in a lot of ways to some things that she talks about. And so I love her.
No, I agree with you. I want to say I know who you're talking about. Name sounds familiar. Can't put a face to
Uh-huh.
it. But absolutely. So, do you have any advice for those who might want to start acting but doesn't really know how to, or is kind of nervous to start?
Oh, you know what? Um, One thing about these decades that we go through with technology is that all the actors, just think about this. All of the actors that you might know and love, that you think are incredible, when they first started, they probably were crappy. The thing is, you don't have probably any footage of that. But nowadays, the newer actors, they might
Mhm,
likely have some footage out there, and you'll see their growth over time. My thing is, we all start somewhere.
mhm,
Now you can more document like some of the newer actors, their growth over the years, because we have more video and things like that. We
mhm,
capture indie things, but auditions we share. But
mhm.
you start from somewhere. But my thing is, don't judge yourself. Just dive into your experience. If you are embarrassed and you don't want to be around people, do it in the mirror. Dive into that experience and fully feel it. That's where I say I believe that we get more courage to do things when we feel the experience of it, and that experience feels we've gone through that and we feel okay. We realize we're still here, everything's fine after that. So walk yourself, imagine that experience in the mirror in your private area that you're performing in front of a bunch of people, and feel what it might feel like to be embarrassed, and get comfortable with that, so that when you actually do it, you, let me wait for that.
Is that like a fire truck or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's gone now.
Okay, I hope everybody's okay for whatever that is.
Yeah.
So yeah. Um, so yeah, create an imaginary imagined experience for yourself to run it through yourself so you can kind of embody that, put it in your muscle memory, your spirit, your mind, and all of that to be okay with it. And then just do it. Start with a video, do an acting video, there's social media, do a reel, put it out there, get some feedback on it, and see how you feel. And, you know, we have the opportunity to try things out on social media that we didn't have before. Before, you just had to go to do an audition and see how it goes. But now you can you could try things out, check with your audience, get your feedback from your friends, and there's so many sources online. If you want to grow, you want to learn the process, go to YouTube, learn about what
Mm.
people tend to do to get into acting. There's so many resources there because I think there used to be one way to get into this industry, and then there was just Hollywood, and it was pretty hard to get into. But now I think that there's so many avenues to get into it,
Mhm.
and if you just put yourself into that experience, you're creating yourself. You're moving into it without realizing it in a whole different way. But from the mirror to social media to reels, the independent industry is a huge area into that industry where that wasn't available before. And you have so many resources available. So just, if you're afraid, don't be afraid. If you're afraid and you want something directly from me, go watch some of my, I don't know, watch my now the film. The story was great. Holiday Lie was great, but you'll see the difference in my acting. Like, Ricky, you kind of sucked a little bit here and there, and but you know what, you have to not just, you just kind of do it and
Mhm.
be okay with that. And if you don't like it, be okay with it. The biggest thing is you've accomplished something and you've broken a cycle, you've broken a
Mhm.
chain. That's what matters. And you're walking yourself into a whole new beautiful, beautiful journey. And so just focus on your journey, your growth, you're experiencing in it, and you're living life and not thinking through life
Mhm.
and holding yourself back from life, but you're living it. So yeah, just take advantage of the resources, give it some test tries out. You might realize I don't really like this after you do a few reels, and then that'll give you your answer. It doesn't take a huge investment just to get your feelers out there to try it first. And then if you really love it, then you can start really getting more serious and getting into the whole getting headshots and
Mhm.
seeing where you go to audition. There are a lot of places where you audition online, like
Mhm.
backstage.com and things like that. Dar is known for giving a lot of first opportunities to new people. So they're posting all the time as well. That might be an avenue to kind of get a taste. Do some crew work. That's where when I came to LA, I jumped into production work because I wanted to know how the whole thing worked a little
Mhm.
bit more. So my first job I got in LA when I moved here, I got off of Craigslist. I jumped on Craigslist. I know a lot of people don't trust
Mhm.
Craigslist, but I believe in high discernment and high intuition, and you'll be okay. So um, yeah, but um, there's a lot of things. Just fill it out. See what you feel comfortable with. You know. So
Totally. And where can people find you on social media platforms if they want to give you a follow, Ricky?
on social media, all right, darling, you can find me on. I don't know. You can find me on. Well, I'm my biggest, most active area is Instagram or IG, um, which I do reels more regularly,
Mhm.
little short skits, and I come in. No, it's busy out there. Okay, so I do reels, skits, little encouragement messages of encouragement, but that's where I
Mhm.
do most of my stuff. But Ricky's World will be airing on YouTube. Um, and so I highly recommend, if anybody, you can go there, go to Ricky's World and subscribe on YouTube, because I got some incredible stories coming through that platform. Stories that were born from just my imagination from when I started as a little girl. So I think you guys will enjoy that journey with me, hopefully. Or, be honest with me, tell me the truth so I can keep growing. I love to grow, you know? Um, Instagram, YouTube, Ricky's World, Ricky Yvette Westmoreland, and also my website. It's in construction, being expanded,
Hmm.
but right now, if anybody's looking to book me for an acting gig, meet and greet, I do meet and greets, I do cameos. I have a lot of characters that I play that are self-authored by myself. I have
Hmm.
they're going to be on my website soon, but I do monologues, live
Hmm.
performances. Characters I have, like one is named Josephine Brown. She's a Black revolutionary from 1972. Black cow. And 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 I have Miss Ruthie. She's an elder who's 110 years old, old lady. She likes to talk to the children, talk about her old days. And then I have, vampire. I have uh, superhero character. I have lots of characters, so there's a lot of people with me. So, yeah, if you want to book me for any of the characters, meet and greets, monologues, a film project, or whatever, just visit my website. It's www.rickythenomadicactress.com. Ricky the Nomadic Actress, because I travel around and
Hmm.
perform. Or just visit rickysworld.com. They both go to the same place. So, and Ricky is Riki. So, just for those who don't know. So, yeah. Does that help?
That helps completely. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Hmm. Absolutely.
So, is there anything that I forgot that you'd like to mention before we go today?
I think I kind of squeezed it in at the end, like, oh, I didn't mention my characters. And yeah, I mean, just that, like, also known as Ricky the Nomadic Actress. For those who might not know, nomad is a person who tends to be a little location independent. I'm not
Mhm.
a full-time, I don't, well, I'm not looking to be a full-time nomad. Lately I have been. Um, that's another story I got coming to y'all soon. But, but, I like exploring and traveling around because it inspires me to create. And so I'll be going like to Arizona soon, sometime like later in the month, and I'm looking to do a meet and greet there, and maybe a couple live performances of my characters. And I just kind of nomad around. I have a van that I'm in my van. You see behind me, I have
Yeah. Mhm.
yeah, so I did a little self build in here to
Mhm.
support my nomadic travels, where it's a kind of a partial conversion. It's not
Mhm.
finished, but I mean, I love to go in nature, camping, whatever. I love to spend time alone with the birds, the bees, the animals, the
Mhm.
trees. I'm a tree hugger, hippie spirit, but yeah, so my van, I like have a wardrobe station. I have like, so I can do video vlogs, whatever, but I can do my characters
Mhm.
on the road. I have the thing I built in the back. I have a bathing station if I just want to camp,
Mhm.
whatever. Yeah, I'm kind of a hippie. But yeah, so I'm a nomad in that sense. I do, aim to have a permanent home dwelling, in one spot.
Mhm.
So it's not like I'm looking to be like just whole full-time nomad kind of thing, but it's primarily the nomadic travels for when I'm doing my work, my acting and exploring. And so that'll be shared on Ricky's World on my YouTube channel as well as I go around. Ricky the Nomadic Actress guiding you along all the adventures of Ricky's World. So, yeah.
That's awesome. And I would like to thank Ricky for taking the time to come on the Kayden Gordon Show, today's best country mix. We appreciate your time so, so much.
Thank you. All right. Peace, love, and shea butter, baby. Bye.